Welcome, everybody. Good evening. It's Pat at Dancing Moon Travel, and we are so glad that you are taking time to join us and learn more about our featured guest this evening. We are so glad to welcome him. We have Dwayne Lambeth from Dove Island Lodge up in Alaska. As you know, if you've been watching, Alaska is our featured destination all month. And we are so glad to talk about. I mean, how many people, when they think of Alaska, think about fishing lodges? It's one of the top things to do up there, and we are featuring one of the very best of the best with Dove Island Lodge. And by the way, folks, if you have just joined us and you're watching on an instant replay, we are so glad you're there as well. But all of that said, Dwayne, let's just dive in. Can you start off just by telling our friends a bit about yourself and the history and location and background of Dove Island Lodge?
Well, this is our 19th year owning this lodge, and originally I'm from Napa Valley, California. I've been in the wine business and been a pilot all my life, and we discovered Sitka and Dove Island when I was on a vacation up in 2001 during the September 11th fiasco.
Wow.
To make a long story short, fell in love with Sitka especially, and brought my wife up in 2002, and we looked at some property, and one of them was Dove Island. We looked at some other island properties, and make a long story short, we ended up purchasing it and opened the lodge and started building late 2002 and opened the lodge in 2003. It was an existing lodge, and we completely revamped it. We brought a little of fine dining and Napa Valley wine to a very remote, incredibly beautiful spot in Southeast Alaska, and that was our dream, and that's what we've been doing for the last 18, 19 years.
So if people, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there it is, right down there toward the bottom of that page there. Uh, and what's special about that area, Dwayne?
Well, Sitka has the highest catch rates for king salmon in the world. We have a phenomenal halibut fishery as well. And one of the things that we do that's a little different than everybody else, we own and operate our own aircraft for freshwater fishing. So one day you can go out on the ocean and chase that trophy king salmon. And then the next day you can go out and get world-class steelhead fishing on the freshwater. We also have wonderful halibut fishing. The nice thing about the Sitka area is we try to target both species in the saltwater every day, salmon and halibut. Typically it's salmon in the morning, halibuts in the afternoon, as well as lingcod, rockfish, and also different various species from the ocean.
Wow, so you guys, when you visit Dove Island Lodge, our fishermen can really just expect to be able to do all of it. They don't have to.
Absolutely. There's a few lodges in Sitka, and what differentiates us from other lodges is we're more of a luxury lodge. So if you're looking to not rough it, we're the place. We also
Okay.
offer a tremendous other activities to do besides fishing. God forbid, a third of our clients don't fish, so we have other things to
Okay.
do besides the fishing as well.
So you have very little in common with those backwoods, rustic kind of lodges, other than the fact that you're on a beautiful location.
Well, we go there. We take the de Havilland Beaver and we go there, but we come back every day to the amenities of the lodge. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. How big is the lodge? How many people can you accommodate?
The main lodge itself is a little over 10,000 square feet, and then we have two separate satellite cabins. We can accommodate up to 18, well, 24 people, but 18 is generally where our number is, and we have about that many employees, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio for employee to client. We're on a private island, so we have two types of accommodations. We have our 2-room suites, which have California king beds, in-room river rock fireplaces, sitting rooms, Every suite has a oceanfront balcony with a private hot tub that's right on the water. And our cabins are 2-story, 1,100 square feet, and they're for groups of 4. Suites are usually for 2 people. The suites are for 4 people, and they also have oceanfront balconies with with hot tubs as well.
And it is an absolute, the lodge itself is just a beautiful, beautiful edifice. I mean, it's I don't know,
It's
what do you say? It's
it's
gorgeous.
all it was all it's all hand done. You know, everything building on an island is takes a lot more time because you don't have the access to a lot of equipment. So it's all Alaskan yellow cedar, wood throughout, all kinds of indigenous art that's throughout that my wife has picked up over the years, and it's a very warm, great feeling. And of course, located on a private island that's got a 360-degree ocean view. So it's quite nice.
That is amazing. Here's a shot I really liked. I guess that's probably now. No, where if somebody is coming to visit Dove Island Lodge, how do they go about getting there?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. The most popular way is a commercial aircraft. So Alaska Airlines offers 5 flights a day, and Delta offers 1. And they fly right into Sitka. We're a town of 8,000, fifth largest city in Alaska, but very easy to get to. And then we pick our clients up from the airport because Sitka itself is located on an island. You can't drive to Sitka unless you were to come on the Alaska State Ferry, which is a 5-day boat ride from Bellingham, Washington. So most people
Wow,
opt to fly.
I guess.
Also, you can fly in private if you like. We have a beautiful 10,000 foot runway that can accommodate any private airplanes or just flying in commercial on Alaska or Delta.
Very, very good. So it's relatively easy to get to. When people
Yes,
think that it might be a challenge, it really is. I know we have people booked up there to come in, and it was very easy
pretty
to
much
arrange.
everybody can come from almost anywhere in the U.S. and be to Sitka in the same day. And everybody goes through, regardless of what airlines you start out on, it goes through Seattle. And then from Seattle, there's the 5 flights on Alaska and 1 with Delta. And Alaska does fly out through a lot of the areas in the U.S., but you don't have to take Alaska to Seattle. But once there, it's pretty straightforward to get up. And then we pick you up from the airport when they arrive. It's a 5-minute ride to town, and then another 5-minute boat ride out from the town of Sitka out to our private island.
Oh wow, it's very, very easy. You know, one of the things that we did, we had when we booked with the 2 couples that we have coming up to see you guys this summer. One couple had been to Alaska previously, one had not, but none of them had done the land tour. So we actually arranged for them to go into Anchorage, do one of the Alaska Railroad tours, see a little bit of the interior in that area up there,
Right.
and then fly down to Sitka and come in and finish up with their fishing package with you guys. So
Yeah, well, we're
that
looking forward to it.
that is an option. So I have heard some rumors about this one, Dwayne. So what about the food at the lodge?
Well, being from Napa, one thing that we really try to inspire with our chefs, and we've had some phenomenal chefs over the years, is just the attention to detail, presentation, and most importantly, serving, the bounty that Alaska provides us. So our chefs, all trained under Michelin star chefs. We usually do seafood every other night. That's 5 courses. Our dinners are a 2-hour event, culminating in a slideshow of what people did that day that we do at dessert.
Oh wow, that's
So
special.
yeah, and so it's definitely won't go hungry. A lot of the fish camps, lodges that I had been to previously, provided more of buffet style food, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. But we just went a different direction, and it's the chefs come out, talk about each course. It's a 2-hour event, and besides just being 2 hours of eating, it's 2 hours of a time where all the guests can interact with one another and exchange stories and lies.
Kind of that
It is a fishing
camaraderie.
lodge.
I bet
Yes.
people leave there with new friends that they keep in touch with for the rest of their
Yep, and
lives.
some of these people, they'll travel all over the world together, and being met from the lodge. So it makes a great opportunity. I have guests or dinner with my guests every night. So we have 3 tables, and I usually sit at one of the 3, and it gives me a good chance to get to know them.
So you eat well too.
Well, my doctor says I'm well nourished.
Oh, wonderful. So, just it sounds like a very inclusive experience. So, what should a guest expect to pay for out of pocket beyond the cost of the accommodations in their fishing package? What would be?
Well, it all depends on how long you stay, what types of activities you do. But one thing that we do at Dove Island is we try to be all inclusive. So basically, the only things that aren't included in your packages when you purchase them is airfare, tax, license, alcohol, and then whatever tips you want to do for staff. So you can pick a few of the different packages. Are probably our most popular. Well, for if saltwater fishermen, most popular package would be our 4-night package. It's 5 days, 4 nights, 3 days is fishing, and the price on that one is $46.95 per person. And then probably the most popular package we sell would be the combo package, which would be a combination of 2 days of saltwater fishing and then 1 day of fly out in the beaver, and that is $51.95 per person for that package.
Most
And then
excellent. That
it's more or less if you come longer or add more flyouts. Just depends.
so very customizable.
Yeah, very
Uh,
very customizable. Yeah, it's not a set thing.
Okay. Well, it does, Dwayne, if you had to just narrow it down to a couple of things, what would you say it separates the experience at Dove Island Lodge from some of the other fishing lodges in Alaska?
It really is just a matter of what you do and how you do it. That's going to be the main thing. We run the largest boats in Sitka, 34 to 39-foot boats. All of our boats have a private bathroom and a deckhand. We customize your fish processing for you. It's all included in the package. The food is definitely going to set us apart from the food in the wine cellar. We have a 8,000 bottle wine cellar, largest wine list of any lodge in Alaska. Over 200
Wow,
different bourbons.
that's
Yeah,
a lot. How
a
many
lot.
different
Yeah,
bourbons?
over 200 different bourbons
My
from
word.
around the world. Some very hard to get ones, some not so hard. So we have 2 separate bars, one in the main lodge and then one our Crosswind Landing bar, which is down on the water, and a couple of mixologists. So it's going to be the food, the experience, and also the fact that we're on a private island. Most of the lodges are in town, so this gives you a little bit different experience. All of our suites are 2-room suites, California king beds, fireplaces, and every suite has a hot tub. And it's just going to be just a little bit more personalized service.
And this would kind of be like the view that they could expect
That's correct.
sitting.
That's a view from one of the suites from our cabins. Hmm.
That is truly amazing. Now, Dwayne, you said that companions are welcome, non-fishing folks,
Yeah,
if they're coming along, whether it's the husband or the wife. These days, the women fish just as often
they
probably as
do.
the guys do. What are some of the things that might entertain the non-fisher person?
So we have just completed, after almost 3 years of construction, a world-class spa. We imported 100 tons of Himalayan rock salt, and we built the spa. It's kind of like a salt cave out of this salt. All the salt's heated from behind the walls, and so it gives it a nice glow. We have 2
Wow.
massage therapist rooms, 2 esthetician rooms, a yoga room, a meditation room. And so we have a full program on that. Besides the spa, there's guided and unguided kayaking right from the island, glacier tours, helicopter tours, whale watching, hiking, even biking in Sitka if you'd like to arrange that. So there's a host of other things to do just besides the fishing. Again, about a third of our clients that come don't fish, so there's plenty to do for everybody.
That is fabulous. Now, for somebody who comes in for the fishing, can you just give a little bit more? You said you had these packages, the most popular. What would just a day in the life? What would, if they came in for that 3-day
Okay.
fishing package? What might that day look
Okay,
like
so
for
our,
them?
our most popular one that people buy, probably 75 to 80%, is the 5-day, 4-night, 3-day combo package. So let's say it's not necessarily in this order, but let's say that your travel day was a Wednesday. So you'd leave wherever you are coming from. You'd arrive in Sitka generally Wednesday afternoon. We'd pick you up at the airport. That first day that you arrive is considered a non-fishing day or a day to do some things on your own if you'd like. So if you want to, check out the town of Sitka, it's a great time to do that. If you're tired, want to come straight to the lodge, we can do that. Either way, if you decide to stay in town, we'll put a driver with you to drive any of the people anywhere they want to go. And then come back to town, get checked into the lodge. Usually check-in is around 3 p.m. Gives you a chance to unwind, unpack, maybe have a cocktail. Appetizers start at about 6 o'clock, and then dinner, we sit down for dinner at 6:30. And it's a 2-hour event. It goes to about 8:30. And then people, if they want to go to bed, get ready for the next day, they do, or they can go down to our lower bar, game room, and continue on if they like. So the first day of fishing would be the following day. So that'd be like Thursday. If you're going saltwater fishing, our chefs are up and our breakfasts are ready to start serving at around 5:30. You can pick whatever time you want to go out. So it's not necessary, but the captains are at our dock ready to take our clients out at 6 a.m. Some people don't want to go out till 8 a.m. and that's fine. But they're ready to go.
That would
So
probably be my kind of speed.
yeah. So we tell all of our clients make sure they get 10 hours of fishing. So that usually goes from 6 a.m. to 4.
And what would they catch that first day with the saltwater fishing?
Salmon, halibut, lingcod, rockfish. It's all available. We generally fish for salmon in the morning and then halibut in the afternoon. And once they get the limits, they can continue fishing to do catch and release or come back to the dock. Once they arrive back at the dock, our custom processors are there to meet them. They get their name, address, and how they would like their fish processed. We fillet it on site, vacuum package it, flash freeze it in our blast freezer for shipment home, and that's all included. So, and then every day they have a running board so they can come down and talk to our processor, see how much fish they have of each species and all of that.
And so everybody gets to tell about their catch of the day and get the bragging
Absolutely.
rights.
So they usually get back about 4 o'clock. So you have time to get a shower, maybe take a hot tub, get a massage if they want. Again, then the process starts again. 6 o'clock is appetizers at the lower bar. And then we sit down up at the lodge at 6:30, 2-hour dinner. So and then the next day they can continue to do the saltwater fishing, or if they would opt to do the fly out, which is usually everybody gets 1 day of the fly out. We start our day just a little bit later. So usually breakfast is at 7 o'clock. And we get people down to the what we call our rain room to get them fitted in their waders, and that's at 7:30. And then we're usually in the aircraft after the pre-flight about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we fly to some of the most incredible spots that can't be reached except by float plane. And you're with a guide all day, and you take your lunch with you on that trip, and the plane's dedicated to you for the entire day. So if you want to leave a little early and go look at the volcano, go see the glaciers, the plane will come back in and pick you up and take you anywhere you go. One of the really unique things about the flyout is we have a venue where we have a 3.2 million acre, it's like a lease with the U.S. Forest Service, and we're the only guide and outfitter on this property.
3.2 million, that's half the size of Denali Park.
It's huge, yes.
Wow.
It's it's an area where we go with ATVs. It's the only spot that we actually have roads, but we're the only outfitter guide on this section of road on Chichikov Island. And so makes a great day. We go 20, 30 miles by ATV, stop along the way, fish, have a nice lunch, and then come back.
That is just amazing. Now, what about when? Wait, I've got another question. I
Yes.
kept meaning to ask. I've got to back up a little bit for this one, but size range. What would you say is your average catch on a salmon,
Well,
roughly?
depending on the species, of course, but your king salmon are going to be 15 to 40 pounds. Your silver salmon are going to be anywhere between 6 and 12 pounds as average size. Of course, they get bigger and stuff, but you're allowed right now 6 silver salmon per day, 1 king salmon per day, up to 4. It all depends on the month that you come. Obviously, the earlier you're allowed more. And then you're allowed your halibut and your link cod, and then a variety of rockfish. So most of our clients of that come up for 3 days of fishing are taking back between 1 and 2 boxes of fish per person. And a box of fish is 50 pounds, and that's a fillets.
Wow,
And of course, 1 box of fish is the equivalent of 200 meals. So it's a lot of fish.
my goodness.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, you touched on something there, Dwayne. I was curious about what about when to travel? What months are you open, and when do you think is the optimum time for
Well,
coming?
again, depends on what you want to target. We're open May through the first week of September. And in May, you can expect in the ocean king salmon and halibut, link cod, and rockfish. In the freshwater, your trout species and steelhead. In June is probably the peak time for king salmon. And same thing, halibut, rockfish, and then the same thing in the freshwater. July will be your peak time to kind of catch a little bit of both. The silver salmon start to run, the king salmon slow down just a little bit, and then by August, that's the peak time for silver salmon. And we still catch kings all summer, but the silver salmon get better and better as the summer gets later. And then we usually close at the first week of September.
Well, so a nice long season. How far in advance would you recommend people booking? I mean, is there availability still for any time this summer, or are you booking now for 2022?
We're booking for 2022. We still have some spots. I mean, there's always somebody that cancels or has a health issue. So, we always have a spot here and there, but usually you want to book about a year in advance.
Okay. And I would just tell people, with what we've been through the past year, it's not too early to think about getting those bookings locked in for
Yeah.
2022 for all your travel. I'm seriously, folks, we are going to be in a crunch for space by the time we get later this year. Next year is going to be filled up. So, just a word to the wise there. What about requirements for travel to Alaska given the pandemic, and what's the situation at the lodge with that?
Well, it's always changing, but we're in the green right now. In fact, everybody down to 16 years old, if they want to have been vaccinated, has been vaccinated. And so the travel restriction they're going to be lifting, but we don't know when. Right now, it requires a negative COVID test within 72 hours, which is pretty easy to get, and then you have a travel document that you fill out, and then they check that. If for some reason you haven't been able to get the test, they will do it for you at the airport, and they have a testing facility there. Now that's what's currently right now, but when May rolls around, this all might change. They're talking about lifting a lot of the restrictions.
Yeah,
So
the
there are no
vaccine.
travel restrictions. It's just that there are certain things you've got to do. So,
Yeah,
of
and
course,
and
you
that's
have to
yeah.
wear a mask in the airplane. But once you're in Sitka, it's we have, I think, 1 or 2 cases right now in the whole town. It's pretty light.
Alaska has done very, very well. You are the most vaccinated state in the union at this point, maybe in the whole world. And travel is they're welcoming people
Yes.
wide open. Dwayne, I found this little video clip I want to play as we get ready to close out here. But
Okay.
folks, here's just a little short video clip of what you might experience up at Dove Island Lodge.
One of the great fishing lodges of the world, Dove Island Lodge in southeast Alaska offers a true Alaskan adventure combined with very high-end accommodations and incredible five-star dining. Experience fantastic saltwater fishing and the breathtaking adventure of a fly-in excursion aboard the lodge's float plane. Spring, summer, or fall, Dove Island Lodge provides Southeast Alaska's premier true Alaskan adventure. This is a great time to experience the best of Alaska. Call or go online today.
That's great. That's just a great overview of I mean, just a snapshot of what you might experience at the trip to Dove Island Lodge. We could, just if you want to book, you can reach out to them, or you could just reach out to us. Yeah, you know how to get hold of Dancing Moon Travel, and we're happy to set you right up there. And folks, we are running that special contest this month for those binoculars. The word for today, fishing. So if you would like to win these binoculars, they are top line binoculars. We do not want you to miss a single thing on that trip to Alaska. Just if you're watching live, just type in the word fishing. You will be entered in our drawing for the month of March. And we would love to book you for Dove Island Lodge. Next week, our guest is going to be on Cruise Adventures about the small ship cruising experience, which is really not like a cruise at all. And we can combine that with a visit to Dove Island Lodge as well. So we can put Dove Island Lodge into any package that you might be interested in for Alaska. So one last shot here of the views from your room at Dove Island Lodge, folks. You could be seeing that next summer. Dwayne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I loved learning more about Dove Island Lodge and the experience there, and we hope to be booking frequently with you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks again. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, friends. We appreciate you so much. Bye now.
Bye-bye.